everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacqueline and I make new videos every week on a whole variety of things, lifestyle, beauty, adventure, all sorts of fun stuff, and I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And today I have a different video for you. I've seen a couple people do these over the past few months, years, whatever, but they're basically all about things that you no longer purchase, you don't spend your money on anymore. And so I have two different categories. I have beauty and I have some lifestyle. I think I'm gonna do the lifestyle in a different video just because I don't want them to be too long. But I have, I think 9 things. 9 beauty items that I no longer purchase or I purchase like very rarely. I just want to share them with you and just kind of talk about how beauty, you change and you evolve and all that fun stuff. And just things that I just personally don't spend money on. They might be things you like to spend your money on, and that's totally cool and valid. And maybe it's something you didn't even think of and you're like, yeah, I don't need to spend my money on that either. But yeah, let's just hop right in. So the first thing I no longer spend money on is makeup wipes. I don't use them anymore, and it's just one of those things that as the older I got, I realized that they're not that great for my skin. They didn't take off my makeup very well. They're expensive and they're wasteful, like super, super wasteful. So it's just one of those things I just don't use anymore. And even still, I think I have like a pack or two just lying around in case I need to like remove swatches or anything like that, or clean up something really quickly. But in general, I don't use them anymore, and I just don't like them. They don't work very well, and I don't see the point of buying makeup wipes anymore. I know people love them, and if you watch any of those like Get On Ready With Me celebrity things on like Vogue or Harper's Bazaar or whatever it is, so many celebrities still use those makeup wipes, and it blows my mind because they're really not that great for your skin. They're not great for the environment, and just seems like a waste to me. I don't know. I just don't do it anymore. And kind of along the same lines as makeup wipes is I don't buy cotton rounds anymore. I do use micellar water on semi-regular basis. I enjoy using it to take off my sunscreen in the morning, but you need something to put the micellar water on. That's just how micellar water works. You can't just like put it on your skin with your hands. It won't attract the dirt and oil from my understanding. But anyway, I used to buy cotton rounds and they just started to seem A, expensive, and B, like a waste and like not very responsible for the environment. And so I went on Amazon. I actually saw someone else buy them too. They're these reusable cotton rounds. I'll leave a link for the reusable ones down below because they are awesome. You just pop them in the washing machine to wash them and you can reuse them. And I love them. I think they're great. So I don't spend my money on cotton rounds anymore. You can use them to take off your nail polish too. So I just don't see the need for cotton rounds in my life anymore. So I don't spend my money on them. And it's great because they do add up quickly and you end up using more than you think. And it's just one of those things that just doesn't seem very necessary anymore. So I definitely love the reusable cotton rounds instead, and I think they are great. I have a few like skincare things I don't buy anymore. The first one is toner. I do have BHA toner, or is an AHA toner? I don't know. I do have like an exfoliating toner, but I don't consider that in the toning category. I don't buy toners anymore that are just to say that I have a toner. If they don't have like an active ingredient in it, I just don't buy them anymore. They just kind of don't serve a purpose in my skincare routine. I just don't feel like it's necessary in my routine anymore because of how I wash my face and layer my products. I just don't think it's necessary to waste my money on a toner that all it's going to do is kind of put a layer of dampness on my skin before I go to the next product. I tend to make sure I tap my skin dry and leave a little bit of water on my skin before I put the next product on. Basically, it just doesn't seem necessary in my skincare routine anymore, and so I just don't do it. Maybe one day I'll go back to using a toner, that doesn't have an active ingredient in it, but just doesn't seem necessary in my skincare routine. It's just one extra step and one extra thing to spend money on that I'm not sure if it's really doing anything for my skin. So that's the reason I don't buy that. And the same goes for my next thing that I don't buy is eye cream. I used to love eye cream and I thought it was great. And then I kind of stopped using it. I ran out of the one that I loved and I realized I didn't really need it. If I kind of pat my moisturizer on my orbital bone, which is where I would normally get my moisturizer to, it ends up migrating into those places on my eyes. And I just don't need an eye cream and I don't need to spend the extra money on basically a smaller container of moisturizer. Yes, they do have some other ingredients and stuff that are good for your under eyes. That will do other things, but honestly, eye cream is not going to make my dark circles go away. It just won't. There's nothing out there that can do that. Some caffeine might lessen it, but it's not going to take that kind of stuff away. And as long as I'm moisturizing that area under my skin and I'm gentle with my eyes, that's going to help with the wrinkles as well. And it just doesn't seem necessary for me to have that step in my skincare routine as of right now. I think one day that will change, maybe if I want to have a retinol eye cream. But in all honesty, right now in my life, eye cream is just one of those things I don't need and I don't find necessary and I don't want to spend my money on. So I just don't do it. And I know some people love eye cream and I used to too, but it's just one of those things that over the past few years, I've just kind of slowly gotten it out of my routine and I am pretty happy about it, to be honest. So that is definitely something I don't purchase anymore. The next thing, I definitely don't purchase as much as I used to, but I do purchase it every once in a while, is nail polish. I used to go and buy all sorts of crazy colors and I just realized that I don't need that many nail polishes. A, I don't do my nails that often, and B, when I do my nails at home, I tend to reach for the same few colors every time. I reach for a white, I reach for a light pink, a bright pink, a red, or a dark burgundy. And that's just kind of like where my comfort level is and what I would like to do to my nails. Or I go buy fake press-on nails. That's just kind of what I like on my own nails. And so I realized buying all these crazy nail polishes and crazy colors just wasn't worth it. And most of them don't last that long. And if I want to have my nails last long, I'm going to go to a nail salon and get gel manicures and all that fun stuff. So wasting my money on all sorts of crazy colored nail polishes that I'm never going to use and will dry out before I ever use them up is just stupid. So I've slowly dwindled down my nail polish collection. I still do have a few crazy colors, but in general, I just don't, and I don't buy them that often. And usually when I do, it's because I'm out of one of my favorite colors and I'm going back to get another one. So it's just one of those things. I don't feel a need to have a crazy big nail polish collection anymore, and it's actually nice to not spend money on them because they do add up after a while. So it's nice to do that. Something else for skincare I don't buy anymore is harsh acne products. I used to think when I was in high school that I needed to dry out my acne to help it go away, and that is not the truth at all. I used to think I need those really harsh like Stridex pads with all the benzoyl peroxide and salicylic acid, and I would use all of it and dry the crap out of my skin, and it would only make my acne worse. And so I just think you need to find a routine, work with a dermatologist, whatever, and find a routine that works for you, that's not super harsh, that isn't going to dry out your skin and just make things worse. And I think part of the problem is that all the like acne products out there have those harsh ingredients in it that are going to dry out your skin. So I tend not to look for acne fighting products, except for my Differin, which is targeted towards acne, but it's a retinol. And you can definitely use it in an appropriate way that won't dry out your skin. I just don't see the point in going for those acne harsh ingredient products anymore. They don't work, and I just know a little bit better now. I've done a little bit more research and know a little bit more about skincare. So those are just things I tend to avoid now. Any of those harsh acne products, I just stay away from. Another skincare thing I don't buy anymore is expensive cleansers. I used to buy one cleanser, I think it was like 20 bucks, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a great cleanser. But I started realizing I don't need to spend that much money on my cleansers. I get great drugstore cleansers for a lot less money. There's CeraVe, the hydrating CeraVe one is amazing. I have a Neutrogena one right now that is awesome. And it's just not necessary to spend all that money on cleansers. I talked about it in my last video, but for me, I want to spend my money on my actives and my serums and stuff that's really going to make a difference in my skin. Of course, cleansing your skin is super important, and you want to make sure you have a nice clean palette for all that other skincare stuff. But for something that's not going to stay on your skin that long, just doesn't seem necessary to me to spend so much money on it. There are great drugstore options. Even if you want a cleanser with an active ingredient in it, there are tons of drugstore options out there, and I just don't see the point in spending 30 or 40 bucks on a cleanser that honestly isn't going to stay on your skin long enough to do that much of a difference, and then you're just going to wash it right down the drain after a minute of cleansing your skin. It just seems kind of silly and ridiculous to me, so I just kind of avoid those expensive cleansers if I can. There are obviously some great expensive cleansers out there that people love and swear by. I just don't think it's necessary, so I don't spend my money on that stuff. The next one is kind of not like an actual thing, but an idea more like, but I no longer spend extra money just to get the free gifts. So I know at Ulta, like I used to like add a few extra things just to get to that point, to get that free little like clutch with all the samples in it. And I just realized over the years, I don't really use the clutches. Some of the makeup bags are awesome and I do use them. They're fun to get those, but all the little samples just end up being wasted and I don't use them. There hardly ever was a point where I'm like, yes, that is totally worth it. It has all sorts of samples that I'm actually going to use. It's just not necessary. And so I don't try to get to that point where I get the free extra gift. If I spend that much money and I end up getting one, that's great, but I'm not going to add extra things to my cart just to get that free gift. I'm not going to waste my money just to get things that are going to go to waste anyway. So that's definitely something I don't do anymore. And it actually has saved me a lot of money. It's just one of those things you have to kind of change your mindset. Like, yeah, it's great to get those free things, but do you need to spend an extra $15 just to get them? Probably not, to be honest. So what's the point? So I just don't do it. All right. And the very last thing might be a little bit TMI, but that's okay. I no longer buy tampons with applicators on them. So they make tampons now that are literally just the cotton that stick. Yep, okay. And I just no longer get the applicators. It just seemed like a huge waste of plastic. The cardboard ones aren't comfortable to use and it just didn't make sense to me anymore. So I found some that don't have applicators and I have been loving them. I've used them, I think almost for 6 months now, and it's been great. It just has a little bit of plastic wrapped around it to keep it separated from all the other ones, but it doesn't have a huge plastic applicator that you just have to throw away. Just seemed like a huge waste of plastic to me, and I'm so excited that I found these. I know the next step would obviously to not have tampons at all and use a Diva cup, but I just can't wrap my mind around that still. So it's a small step, but it's, you know, it's the little steps that matter. But yeah, it's just something I don't do anymore, and it's really, really nice and feels great to just do a little bit more for the environment by not having so much plastic. But yeah, those are all the things I don't buy anymore, and it's just fun to kind of see how my lifestyle has changed and what I do and do not spend money on anymore. But I would love to know what you don't spend money on anymore. Maybe there's something out there that, like a beauty category in general, that you just don't buy anymore, you don't spend your money on. I would love to know what that is, so definitely leave me a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to join our little adventure family here. But yeah, I think that's it for this video, so I will see you in my next adventure. Bye!